Welcome to a day in the life of a home daycare provider. As you can see, I start my morning at 8:06, well, at least for today I did. First thing that I do is just go ahead and get the daycare ready to start the day. Every afternoon I mop the floor so the tables get put up, and in the morning I just go over the floors so that it's nice and fresh. Also, it helps with just keeping the environment smelling nice and fresh. As you can see, I had to double back and put in 2 more splashes for Clorox because the kids have been sick lately, and we just want to make sure that we can sanitize and disinfect as appropriate and as much as possible. So in brief summary, when I come in the morning, I put the tables down. After I sweep and I mop, I just wipe down the tables. I ensure that our activities are planned and prepared for the day. I make sure that the boards are nice and clean and that they're set properly with the correct date. And I just make sure that we have all the supplies and materials we need to have a successful day. I also take this time to review any kind of messages, reminders, alerts, upcoming events, to set myself a reminder or just to refresh myself for what may be needed for today. Also, I use a third-party app which allows my parents to message me and allows me to message the parents back. So sometimes a parent will message and say, hey, Johnny is sick today, he's not coming in. Or Catherine is gonna come in a little bit later today because she didn't have such a good night, or anything that would need to be communicated with myself or my teachers. I would use this time in the morning to just ensure that I review everything and make sure that I'm fully prepared for the day, because as you will see, a lot of things will be getting taken care of today. So stay tuned. As I mentioned before, part of my morning routine includes taking down the chairs and the tables and organizing it to satisfy the requirements for the children who are enrolled for today. So today is Tuesday, so that means I have an older group and a younger group. So I make sure that I separate the tables so that I don't have my 2-year-old sitting at the same table as a 6-year-old. And it also makes sense because when it comes down to our daily domain for the day, the work is appropriate for each age group. So I have a preschool program, which is for children 3 years and under, and then I have an experiential learning program, which is for children who are homeschooled 5 years and older. As I noted from before, I update all the boards so that they correctly state the date for today. And now we're really about to get started. As you can see, I do have security cameras inside and outside that allow me to see who is coming to the door. And a little bit before 9 o'clock, we are about to receive our first group of children. And as soon as they come in the morning, they get greeted with love, of course, and we go ahead and change into our green socks, which are very unique to little green giants. As we take hygiene as a top priority, after they put on their green socks, they go right to the sink to wash those hands and get ready for a wonderful day. Every Tuesday, we have oatmeal with raisins, and it probably is my favorite breakfast. Call me an old lady or what, but I just remember during the winter months when I was a child, my grandmother always used to make sure that we had porridge in our system because it keeps your body nice and warm. Also, oats are very healthy for you. They provide whole grain, and raisins are just as good for you as well, and they help you go to the bathroom. So if you have kids that suffer with constipation, go ahead and do some dates, prunes, or raisins, and that will, I hope, solve the trick.
Santana, you want your raisins on the side? Yes?
And kids always forget those manners, so let's always remind them.
Good morning, how are you?
Morning, how's everyone feeling today?
Good?
Blessed and highly favored.
Ooh, blessed and highly favored. Can I get an amen?
My kids make me so proud when I realize that they're actually listening to me. If you work with kids, they do not listen to you. After breakfast, we wash our hands, get cleaned up, and we go right into circle time. Circle time does look a little bit different depending on what the day is and depending on the group and age of children that I have. But typically, we always start with the good morning song. Again, you can see me doing another date on the board because we have lots of opportunities for children to look at letters around the room throughout the day. 10 o'clock is my morning cutoff time, so after 10 o'clock you will find the children fully indulged in their daily schedule. After circle time, I let the children decide if they would like to do yoga or music and movement, and today they chose music and movement. After we do our music and movement, we go right into our daily domain for today. Today, we are working on language arts. All the children have their own tablets, and they also have their own wooden chips that help them identify their letters. We also pulled out the flashcards to help with letter sounds and identifying those letters. After we finish with our daily domain, it is definitely time for a break and transition time. This allows the children to kind of wiggle, get the shakes out right before they have their snack. They all wash their hands right before they come back to the table, and the table is sanitized and disinfected before it is prepped for morning snack. Today's somewhat of a busy day, as right after our daily domain, we went right into our arts and crafts project for today. As it is the end of the year, I am simply reviewing the alphabet with my babies, also known as my little green giants, and that is the group that is 3 years and under. So technically right now, I only have a group with 2 and 3-year-olds. So it works out really good because they are all pretty much on the same level, give or take. So today's focus is on the letter A, and we are painting with apples on the letter A. So this was a really nice little project to do. Very simple and easy, as you can see. Cut up the apples, get the plates for the paint, and let the kids kind of have their own way with creativity. And also it helps with their sensory skills. And of course, some of them wanted to try to eat the apple. So we ended up having snack right after this again. And we all were just able to kind of like nibble on apples. So yeah, I pretty much get some of my ideas from off the internet mixed with a little bit of the personalities of the children that we have enrolled. After we finished this arts and crafts activity, it was time for me to prepare lunch. So I have my older group with me throughout the day as well. So they are really cool, really nice helpers, and they are amazing. They are all team players, and it's really important to just highlight the good quality traits and core values that we have for our program, and we make sure that we instill them and support them with all of our children that are here on their own appropriate level. So as we're setting up for nap time, I am just over here getting lunch prepared. As we are an eco-conscious program, it's very important to make sure that we are intentional with the products, equipment, and utensils that we use, making sure that we minimize the use of plastic and, of course, not using styrofoam, and just using things that are a little bit more beneficial for our bodies. So here I am, just plating up the food. On Tuesdays, we have tacos. Well, maybe not tacos, but quesadillas, but you get the point. So today we are having chicken quesadillas on white and wheat tortillas with corn and apples, of course. Once the cots are ready, everyone gets a fresh pamper and or uses the washroom. Then they all get tucked in nice and tight. You cannot forget our meditation music. And I put on smooth music, whether it is jazz, classical music, or white noise. And the kids have an amazing night. So while the carts are done, I change the music to set the mood, and then I go ahead and straighten up, clean up, do as much as I can while the children are eating. And as they finish their lunch, I take them one by one, and we go ahead and go get a diaper change, or we go to the washroom. Once everyone is finished and cleaned up, like I mentioned before, they get tucked in nice and tight. And then again, I use this time to go ahead and clean up, sanitize, disinfect, so that the classroom is ready for them to wake up and for them to have their afternoon snack. One thing I'm going to do is clean, honey. I'm going to clean. It is that time of the year where everybody is coughing, sneezing, getting sick, getting over being sick. So it's very important to make sure that you keep a clean environment. It's inevitable. Kids will get sick. Kids will have to go home from being sick. But I just want to make sure that I'm doing my best and taking care of my program and my children also as myself to make sure that I'm keeping the most clean environment that I possibly can. They're children, they're germy. It will happen, but it's our duty to make sure that we are constantly cleaning up behind the children to minimize the risk of contagion. Okay, so just in case you forgot, we started our day at around 8:05. Our first child came in around 8:50, and it is now 3:30, and I'm just able to sit down and have my lunch now. And I'm done with that and right back up to preparing snack. And then I hit them with a little dance break. Because sometimes, you gotta let the kids know, like, you can't be so uptight sometimes. Like, you gotta shake your tail for a little bit. But the kids are so used to me being so silly that me dancing and actually being silly is nothing new to them. And now, while the children are enjoying their afternoon snack, it's time for me to clean up the cot area. I fold up their blankets, I put them away, and then it's time for dismissals. And so as in the morning when the kids came in and put their socks on, during dismissals, we go ahead and take off our green socks. They go in a plastic bag, and then they go into our cubbies, and that is it. Time check, it is now 5:08 and everyone is gone.
And that's a wrap, folks. 8:30 to 5. Home daycare provider. As an in-home daycare provider, your day does not start when you open, nor does it end when you close.
So it's very imperative and crucial that you are able to properly plan your day in terms of preparation mentally and physically. My day ended at 5:08. However, that does exclude me cleaning up, straightening up toys, things of that nature. It's just important to have time management so that you know how the flow of your day goes. Not one daycare is the same as the next. Everyone has different personalities, different styles. What is a priority for you? And the kids are always my first priority, and also myself. So when I could be sitting down, relaxing, I take that time to eat. When I could be straightening up, I take that time to work one-on-one with some of my children. So that leaves the end of the day for me to kind of just scurry up everything that I did not have a chance to do. However, it does get taken care of.
So I hope you enjoyed this little video and you got a little bit of experience of a window of insight of exactly some of the things that go on. Of course, I wasn't able to record every single thing, but pretty much this is a summary of how a day in the life of the daycare provider is. So if you enjoyed, please make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can find me on Instagram at Daycare Coach, or on YouTube at My Daycare Coach, or you can email me as well. All the information will be linked in the bio and the description. Thank you.